You've probably all seen the video Donald Trump posted about my sister Mindy Kaling and Kamala Harris.
We are both Indian,
Yes.
but actually we're both South Indian.
Yes.
Many people have falsely accused Trump of racism because of this video, but I disagree. As a South Indian, I think that Trump is fighting racism. 7 years ago, I went on CNN and I said that Trump will end affirmative action like Lincoln ended slavery.
You've said that what Lincoln did vis-a-vis slavery, Trump will do vis-a-vis affirmative action. Explain. I believe that President Trump, by appointing conservative anti-affirmative action justices and by the Justice Department to go after the colleges and universities, I believe that he will end affirmative action like Lincoln ended slavery.
And that is exactly the message he sent with this video, exposing Kamala Harris as a phony and a Pocahontas clone who shamelessly exploited affirmative action to get into law school and even to become vice president, very much like Pocahontas or Senator Elizabeth Warren. The truth is, I know exactly what Kamala Harris did because I did the same thing. I pretended to be black to get into medical school, to exploit affirmative action, just as Kamala Harris exploited affirmative action to get into UC Hastings through their racist affirmative action programs. The only difference is I'm willing to admit the truth. I have fought affirmative action racism, both in Proposition 16 and the Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard case. And I wrote a book about my experiences fighting racism in Almost Black. Kamala Harris continues to exploit affirmative action to advance her career and may even get into the White House because of it.
You're in a position to determine who'll go to the White House and who'll stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump.
Yeah. We are here once again.
Ain't done this here in a while. So we'll do it like that. Welcome one more time to the beatzillapdx official show. This is the midweek report, and I'm your host, beatzillapdx officially. And as you see, this is a news break edition, so this will be a tape-delayed broadcast this evening. But thanks to everybody tuning in on this great, good Wednesday Eve. Thank you for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else, but I appreciate all of your eyeballs and attention right here this evening. So, as you are coming into this broadcast, if you would, could you please hit that thumbs up button and give this broadcast a like, and then share this out on your social media if you would. Also, you could subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. Also, if you would like to, you could also be a member of this channel and join. So if you would like to do that, and then that's how you see the badges in the chat. And it's another way to support this channel, what we're doing here. So I appreciate every one of you tuning in, and I especially appreciate all of you who have hit that join button and have became members of this channel. Peace, power, blessings, and protections be up on all of you and yours. So with that being said, of course, we won't be able to greet all of the chat this evening, but that's what we just did. And so have a little bit to talk about. One of the things that I've noticed this week, of course, we have the DNC convention going on, and the interesting thing is just how things are being presented. Because ever since Kamala Harris has taken charge of the Democratic ticket, it's been mostly all of her pundits that have spoken for her. She has not really spoke herself. And so now we're getting into the crunch time to where, of course, she spoke at these, and she's speaking, giving, the ready-made speeches at the stumping rallies or whatever. But she has not sat down like with a town hall situation, let's say, even just going on a common medium without kind of canned interviews. Like, do a town hall. We need to see what this person's about. And now what they want you to do is accept somebody who won't even really reveal themselves to you. And they're saying she's all of this, she's all of that, she's this, she's that. But she will not speak to the public off the cuff. And that's a problem for a lot of people. How can you trust somebody who can't speak in the moment? And I think it begs to say. Now, I want to double back onto the video I played first with Mindy Katlin's brother. I played that video because he actually admits to being an imposter and faking being black, cosplaying being black for his financial gain and career gain. So if he could admit to doing it, why wouldn't anybody else actually do it? So it's been done. That's to say that, and he's wrote a book about it. And he's darker than Kamala. And he's telling you he ain't black. So it's more than clearly it's more than skin tone. Now I'll say that right there. So, when people start, she's black, she's just, we've seen this act before, and we don't need to co-sign anybody's nothing. And I think that harping on that may have taken some steam out on the street level anyway, which is where they need to get to. That's why they are trying to get influencers to get on board, and which is crazy, because when you think about it, They were telling you how don't listen to the people on the internet. Now all of a sudden, here you got the internet, got credentialized by the DNC to be at the DNC. You gave them press credentials. And they're not just getting regular credentials, they're getting special credentials to go in special areas with these candidates. That's crazy. Or is it? That says that the grassroots, because again, when you have to go to TikTok, and I remember I told you that was coming. Like they're gonna start unleashing all of their TikTok shields, and here it is. And then you got people coming out like, yeah, we're getting money to do this. And then you have, of course, like the Steve Harveys who's coming out trying to deny it. But there's okay, and that I might listen to that a little bit later, because that was just very interesting. Because I heard Steve Harvey's response on the radio. How just the things that people do as a deflection tactic, and he did it as a comedian, knowing the timing of doing it. So it is, to me, I would just call it a lowbrow sidestep of what the real question and real point of the matter was. But nonetheless, I want to point something out, because, all of this fanfare that they're given, oh man, she's really taking them by storm. Well, at the same time, this article was published. So, take it as you will. But this headline is from the Washington Examiner. So, this isn't Snopes. It says Democrats hopeful black voters will stop flirtation with Donald Trump. This came out this morning. Now, let's see what this video. I'm sure there's probably a ad to that, so I'll just skip past that. Because one thing I noticed about, so anyway, I want to get to this. With Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee, party members are once again confident that black voters, particularly black male voters disaffected with President Joe Biden, are more likely to support the ticket during the November election. Okay. The ticket, as the public soured over the economy, inflation, and the president's increasingly frail public appearances. The rising dissatisfaction with Biden helped former President Donald Trump increase poll numbers with black voters. Now, let me point something out right here. When they talk about it helped him increase his numbers with black voters, I wouldn't say increase. I say Joe Biden's numbers just decreased. And it's more than him looking frail. I can definitely say that. What are they talking about? Well, his ever frail appearances. Yeah, it's a lot more than that. And that guy has done a lot more to black America than to just sit up here and talk about how he's looking right now. Like, why would that be a big concern to black America at this point from this guy? I'm just saying. It just doesn't make sense to say. And I mean, let me see. You're bleeding some black voter support while he led the ticket. we soured over the economy, but we also soured at the fact that our demands were being ignored. See, this economy part, you could talk about reparations all day long. Yeah, I think so, man. The rising dissatisfaction with Biden helped form Donald Trump's increased poll numbers with black voters. Again, I just don't think that's true. I see the way they're trying to spin that, but I really don't believe that's true. I just believe they are seeing a decrease in support for Joe Biden and now Kamala Harris. But anyway, after Harris, the nomination's first black and South Asian vice president replaced Biden, Democrats are cautiously hopeful that the excitement over her campaign will persuade black voters back into the party fold and block Trump from peeling off black men voters. Quote, as chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, and as a black man myself, obviously, I never bought into the narrative that black men were not engaged, said Representative Stephen Horsford. That's that dude's name. Representative from Nevada. That's it. He's the NAACP. But I was trying to remember where he was from when I played this video, coming to find out that he's a whole tether as well. Yeah, he an anchor baby over there at the president of the NAACP of Nevada. I mean, good grief. Man, you talking about coming over here and we should, like, I'm glad that Umar's talking about reparations again, because he was talking against reparations for a minute there, if you remember. But I'm glad he's talking that again. But it's still, we're not doing flat blackness for our debt owed to us in this country. If you want to go to the UN and start talking about the world situation, we can most definitely stand with you on that. And that their payout will be different. But to sit up here and say now we need to start going across the board for our reparations in this country, hell no. No, sir. We are strongly at a disagreement there, brother. Now let me go ahead and continue. We have a point of view. 87% of black men vote and vote consistently. Over 92% of black women vote and vote consistently. So I never bought into this narrative. Some voters, no matter what their ethnicity, choose to vote Republican. That's their prerogative, and Donald Trump has no ideas. That's their prerogative, and Donald Trump has no ideas. Okay. Black women and black men both staged Zoom calls for Harris shortly after Biden ended his campaign July 21st, raising millions of dollars in support of the vice president. This week, Black Men Vote PAC announced an investment of $4 million to reach black men in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. The blue wall of battleground states Harris must win in order to secure the presidency. I start getting into a little more of it. It says Harris, a black sorority super PAC last week, while a collective of black Greek organizations are mobilizing a massive get out the vote operation to increase black voter turnout. Boy, if they just organized to come together to get something for black folks, would be absolutely fantastic. Listen to this. Florida delegate Nikki Barnes told the Washington Examiner. Does that name sound familiar to y'all? Does the Nikki Barnes name sound familiar? See, when we were pointing these folks out, we were telling you, hey, man, these folks are linked and juiced in with the Democrats. And she's Florida's delegate. So this woman that y'all be going back and forth with on X and who's happening, y'all been talking with spaces, this is who she is. This is how they understand the influence of the grassroots. This is a person that the grassroots can honestly say some of y'all have spoken to. Some of y'all have spoken to this woman. Live directing spaces. You know what I'm saying? And so y'all get to see exactly where this woman is coming from. For those of you who have been paying attention, not to mention Luke. And not only that, did we call Luke early or did we call Luke early? Man, I mean, he, out of all these people, not even Roland Martin gets a vice president interview, but she gives an interview to Luke, the father of Ranch Rap, the granddaddy of the rap granddaddy of the Sexy Reds and Suki Hanas. Are you kidding? This is where she goes? Well, if you got no vaccine, no fucking, and get your booties to the polls, then I guess that's going to make a little bit of sense then, won't it? Ooh-wee. But anyway, this is what she told her. After Biden's exit, the party saw a huge spike in volunteers. Quote, we saw volunteers in Florida sign up. 7,000 in 4 days. 10,000 by the weekend. I believe we're at 27,000 volunteers in Florida who have signed up, said Barnes. A lot of them are black men. A lot of them see their mothers, their sisters, their wives, their cousins, and Kamala. I think that was supposed to be in Kamala, but ma'am, you know good and doggone well that's a lie, Miss Nikki. Nikki Barnes, you cannot be serious. You see, this is my problem with these individuals. They start getting out here and lying on black men. You are not hearing that from the street. You cannot say that this is where all of these volunteers, man, a lot of them are black men. Please. Let's see these black men you talking about. And these are new volunteers? That your new volunteers are black men? Or just the same black men who have been there and you have new other people that want to join because obviously they're looking at trying to get mass amnesty to all of these illegals who have crossed the border and illegally entered this country without being vetted or getting jabbed. Moving along though. Let's see. And they understand that when you put a black woman in charge to get some stuff done, it's gonna get done. So yeah, the enthusiasm is there. The excitement has translated into a polling advantage. A recent Suffolk University USA Today poll showed Harris overwhelmingly leading Trump, 70% among black voters in Michigan, 70% to 11% among black voters in Pennsylvania. Nearly 70% of black voters in July supported Harris over Trump in a hypothetical ballot. Where did you get that? According to a Reuters poll? How? Who did you poll? Because you definitely wasn't getting that from the street because, man, I'm tired of y'all seeing, y'all just hating on Kamala and y'all just out here making all these videos. It's just garbage. This was an increase from 59% who backed Biden in May and June surveys. But in a worrying sign for Democrats, Trump's polling with black voters in July reached 12%, up from 9% in May and June. Now right there, this is where it's going to start getting very interesting. And y'all better pay attention to the other players in this game that especially the Democrats have been trying to hamper, like Jill Stein and Cornel West. Y'all better pay attention to that. I mean, and from what I'm understanding, RFK Jr. is about to bow out and, to my understanding, endorse Trump, is how we're hearing it, word on the street. Family, if you are hearing my voice a little rough, we are going through a one of those good old weather changes, and my throat is like, it ain't, if my throat ain't hurting at all, but it's just my voice is being hampered. So I'm about to put this lozenge in my mouth. So if it sounds like I'm eating candy, I am not eating candy. I just have a cough drop in my mouth. So we can continue. Gotta do what you gotta do. Now, okay. Senator Cory Booker, who served in the Senate with Harris, claimed that the vice president has already closed the gap with black men. Cory Booker said that? Oh yeah, he really has a touch and a handle. I mean, where is he getting this conversation? At the black barber shop? I would not be surprised if he actually said something like that. Like, what, are you just going there to sit and watch other people get their haircut? I'm sure you got better things to do than that. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers. It shifted dramatically as soon as she entered the race. So it's already happened. He said, look, oh man, look, this is ultimately a campaign and an energy and an excitement and enthusiasm that's not coming from popularity. It's coming from this profound yearning I'm seeing in America who want to turn a page. Representative Sanford Bishop echoed Booker's comments in an interview with the Washington Examiner. What she has been doing, particularly over the past 5 weeks, has turned a lot of those folks around by dodging the media. You are clearly seeing people tell you they're not feeling the fact that she is dodging talking to the people. Not one press conference. Not taking questions from even the White House press. I mean, are you guys serious? There's been literally nothing offered. Nothing. All we are getting is a bunch of sensationalism shoved down our throats, but we have not got anything. We haven't had a one reporter be able to ask a question. Not to mention interviews and reporters and whatnot. How's that NABJ Kamala Harris interview coming along? Yeah. I'm just saying. But goes on to say, there were African-American men who were, for some strange reason, leaning toward Trump, who are now saying, well, maybe I'll take another look because she has demonstrated the energy, the dynamism that I guess they were not feeling with President Biden. No, I don't know where this has changed among black men. Who are these black men you're talking about? Because you clearly are not talking to the black men of any, reputation, a good one. The Trump campaign and surrogates remain adamant that they can still win enough black male voters to deny Harris the White House. I was doing very well with black voters, and I still am. I seem to be doing very well with black males, according to the polls. Trump, okay, so I guess they didn't like that. The Republican Byron Donalds, top surrogate for Trump, attempting to persuade more black men to buck the Democratic Party. That's a very interesting choice of words. Slammed Harris's campaign Tuesday during a GOP press conference in Chicago. Joy and vibes isn't going to put food on the table, Donald told reporters as he spoke at the Trump Hotel. And I would have to agree. Joy and vibes isn't going to put food on the table. And she needs to answer some questions by the pub or by these. You can go ahead and use these reputable press folks that are up in the White House every day. Let us hear something. Going on, you could be happy and you could be hungry all at the same time, he warned about Harris' economic proposal. Donald, along with Representative Wesley Hunt, another top black Republican, have hosted a Congress cognac and cigar series in major cities in battleground states targeting black men. For black women, the possibility of Harris breaking the glass ceiling has galvanized them with renewed energy after some caution that she would get passed over, given her high unfavorability numbers in the other ambitious Democrats such as Gavin Newsom, who were itching to become Biden's heir apparent. What I was fearful of when the conversation started was where people going to try and push the vice president aside and not let her have the moment. You know what's crazy is you push the president aside. No mention of that part, but whatever. And that was from Selvina Brooks Powers, New York City Council member from Queens. Harris, however, quickly coalesced the party around her presidential campaign, effectively blocking any other high-profile Democrat from challenging her campaign. Part of that consolidation came from the 44,000 black women who kicked off the first fundraising Zoom call for the president. I was on the call. The first 44,000 black women, it was an amazing feeling, said Brooks Powers. So, see, these people were already Team Kamala. This isn't new energy. It's the same energy with a new face. That's all they're throwing on it. So, let me see some more. Oh, no. Let me see some more. You guys went off the rails. Fellow New York City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams was beaming with excitement at her first Democratic National Convention and what it means for women and women of color. I guess for women, you're saying women. I mean, that little statement can be taken a few different ways, but you're saying women in general, but women of color specifically. Women of color? Gonna be of color? I'm gonna be blue like Papa Smurf. Be a pink and be a big rainbow. What are you gonna be when you're of color? Yeah, I could be any color. One thing it is not descriptive of is being black. And into which this article was about being black. And see, right there, that type of talk, the light switch goes off. Because why? We're not doing that. We're not here for the people of color thing and women of color and women. And this is a gender situation. Hey, that's all fine and dandy. She's a woman. No problem there. But can she please answer some questions of the public? Okay, let's see. This is probably the most exciting thing I've ever done in my entire life. Adam said, I'm so excited to be here as a New York delegate, as the first black speaker of the New York City Council, leading the first woman majority city council in the history of New York City. Okay, that's an accomplishment for women. Adams claimed that Black Americans needed this spark by replacing Biden, who remains beloved in the party, but now with Vice President Kamala Harris on board to be our candidate, I think the sky is the limit as far as the black vote is concerned. There's no stopping us now, she said. Okay, now let's go back to what she's kind of pushing. She's pushing that woman, not black women. I'm the first black speaker of the House. She pointed that out. Or speaker of the New York City Council, rather. But and I get that whole thing, but you know, like I said, a thing for women. When you say men, white men, we're when you're meaning white men, we're not included in that at all. And it's funny that people be like, you guys envy the white man and you just envy his patriarchy and power and all. That sounds actually, for real, it kind of sounds a little on the bedwinchy side to hear somebody say that. To hear a black woman tell a black man that I envy the white man, I don't think of the white man at all. Not like that. We're the ones being thought of. But that tells me that maybe you are enamored with them. And so when you hear people say stuff like that, oh, you guys are just you guys are envying the white man and you want to do the white man what you say and you're just going to parrot what the white man say. It's kind of odd when we're not the ones with them on our minds. Like right now, we're on this broadcast talking about black issues. You understand what I'm saying? We talking about black issues. And so, speaking of black issues, there's some other black issues that I want to hit real quick. And y'all need to see this story because when I saw this, I kind of cracked up because I've been wondering, like, when is Kamala Harris gonna get fact checked? Because everybody talk about this fact checking and whatnot. Now you ain't gonna see Roland Martin pop off with this one, right? Yeah, you're not gonna see this on this broadcast. I guarantee that, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't gotta worry about seeing this one. So let's take a look here. 6 Kamala Harris claims fact checked. And this is from a day ago. So as you see there in her power brown suit, matching her hair, her new hair color. Did you guys notice? She's gotten her hair lightened a bit. Kind of all matching the fit, if you guys didn't notice. Let me see. I just want to get down to the breaking down. Okay, here we go. So let's go down because what I want to do is go over the facts. If they're going to fact check and say lying this, lying that, which we just hear lie, lie, lie. Whichever. Is Trump planning to cut Social Security and Medicare? Because this is part of that Project 2025. This is what's going to happen. Okay. Clean. Donald Trump intends to cut Social Security and Medicare. Verdict. This is misleading. In this campaign, Trump has said repeatedly he would not do this, although he has suggested he would in the past. Social Security provides a source of income when you are retired or if you cannot work due to a disability. Medicare is a U.S. government program which provides health care coverage for millions of Americans who are retired or disabled. Quote, I will not cut 1 cent from Social Security or Medicare, unquote, Trump said at a rally on the 5th of August. See, so if you're going to say he said something, at least let it be what he said. Don't give me false information purposely. That's misleading when you know the truth. And that's wicked. And there ain't no way around that, man. That's wicked. For all you church folks, how you over there be repeating these lies? Thought you wasn't. I thought your guy for sure supposed to. Well, in the Bible, I guess you might want to reevaluate who's God, who you calling God. But the Bible say, you ain't supposed to be worshiping these false gods. You ain't, your heart ain't supposed to be split. You can't love with all your mind and all your heart and all your soul when half of it's given up to a political party. That don't work. I mean, how do you know you sold to the world? Look at what they're pushing. Like I said in my little short video, these folks are crying over the talk and conversation of abortion. That is insane. And yet no one sees anything like remotely wrong with it because, well, everybody's on board. So, I mean, what difference does it make? So, moving along. So after they keep saying, they're going to keep repeating that, he's going to cut. Do you want him to cut Social Security and Medicare? That's what he's going to do. He promised to be a dictator on day one. Let's see. And in his 20-point policy platform, one of the pledges is fight for and protect Social Security and Medicare with no cuts. However, during his time as president, Trump proposed several budgets which would have cut elements of Medicare, such as eliminating the program advising recipients how to sign up for benefits. None of these budget proposals was enacted. He also made comments about cutting Social Security in the past. In an interview in March this year on entitlement programs such as Social Security, Trump said there's a lot that you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting. However, he later clarified the comments saying, I will never do anything that would hurt or jeopardize Social Security or Medicare. And I don't think an old man would really do that anyway, but, it is what it is. Is inflation down? That's the next question. Claim inflation is down under 3%. Verdict. That figure is correct, but some context is needed here. Inflation, which is the increase in the price of something over time that over time is down from a peak of 9.1% under the Biden administration, and it is higher than when Mr. Trump left office. Wow. Well, that's quite the statement right there. Inflation, which is the increase in the price of something over time, is down from a peak of 9.1% under the Biden administration, and it is higher than when Mr. Trump left office. So it's still higher. Damn. Oh, okay. So they got some graphs and charts here. Let me see something. I might have to shrink that a bit. Let me see something here. Bear with me. Okay. Let me see if I can get all of that in there. All right. See how that works. Okay. So looks like U.S. inflation consumer price index for all urban consumers. Here's the timeline. So that's interesting. Look how low it was under Obama. Had a little peak there for a minute, and then after the return, so you had what, 16, 18. So right here, yeah. Consumer price index. So that's pretty doggone low. And then, I mean, this is crazy, man. This spike right here is nuts. I don't know how you saying this is much better, man. Yo, no, sir. No, sir. That kind of increase is crazy. Nah, man. So when President Biden took office in January 2021, inflation was 1.4%, but it rose significantly during the first 2 years of his administration. This trend is comparable with many Western countries that saw high inflation in 2021 and 2022. As global supply chain issues as a consequence of COVID and the war in Ukraine contributed to rising prices. The war in Ukraine that we're paying for, by the way. So, let's see. While the Biden administration had limited control over these external factors, some economists say that their 2021 American Rescue Plan, worth $1.9 trillion, also contributed to rising prices. All right. How many jobs has the Biden administration created? Clean. We have created 16 million new jobs. Verdict. That is roughly correct. 15.8 million jobs have been added under the Biden administration, according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics. However, when the Biden government entered the White House in January 2021, the U.S. was recovering from the pandemic, which crippled the economy and during which more than 20 million jobs were lost. U.S. employment, all employees, total non-farm payrolls. All right, so it's going up. It was getting there, tail end of Obama. And then here's the rise that was continuing to go up under Trump. Then, of course, completely dropped off. That's a massive dip. That's what a shutdown can do. That's an economy wrecker. That is an economy wrecker. So, something to keep in mind with all of this, man. And so, Biden has been able to get that back on track. Let's see what it says. Many of the jobs would have come back if Trump had won in 2020, but the American Rescue Plan played a major role in the spread and aggressiveness of the labor market recovery, says Professor Mark Strain, an economist at Georgetown University. Since President Biden came into office, job growth has been strong, surpassing pre-pandemic levels seen under Trump. However, weaker than expected job growth in July led to fears of a sudden downturn in the U.S. economy, and stock markets were hit as a result, but they have since stabilized. Okay. So next, did Trump drive the U.S. economy into the ground? Claim he froze in the face of the vid crisis. He drove our economy into the ground. The U.S. economy, verdict. The U.S. economy did take a big hit during the pandemic, like most countries, but it also bounced back under Trump. Okay. U.S. economic growth. Wow. So 30, that now, wow. And okay, so looking at this timeline, look at these years, 22. In 2022, there's this dip over here to where we're in the negative. So there's some quarters here that we're taking a serious hit, but they've been talking about how things was good. But right here in this 2022 little time frame, something was going on, and then since then things have been kind of slow. So it's very interesting to see that. You can see from the graph above that there was a dramatic collapse in the economic growth in the U.S. during the pandemic. However, following the pandemic, the U.S. economy bounced back under Trump. He implemented a series of measures to help it recover, including financial assistance for small businesses. During Trump's 4 years in office, January 17th to 2021, January, the average annual growth rate of the economy was 2.3%. Under the Biden administration, this figure has been 2.2%, almost the same. All right, let's get back to the next claim. Did Trump tank the immigration deal? Claim: we had the chance to pass the toughest bipartisan border security bill in decades, but Donald Trump tanked the deal. Verdict: Trump was not publicly against the Trump was publicly against the Biden administration's immigration bill, but voting on it was up to Congress. And let me do this real quick. Hold on one second. Okay. So, now where was that? The immigration bill was aimed to tighten asylum standards, increase spending on the Border Patrol, and allow for the automatic closure of the southern border to illegal crossings if a certain daily threshold was reached. It failed to pass a vote in February, with the majority of lawmakers in the United States Senate opposing it. Trump did not have a vote, as he was not an elected official at the time, but he did call for his Republican allies to oppose it. And understand, the Republicans are not all friends of Trump, but they still opposed it. So let's be clear. Trump also took credit when the bill failed, saying it was horrendous, as he thought it was not tough enough on immigration. Okay, I'll go ahead and skip down to the next one. That's enough. Did Trump ban abortions? Claim. In more than 20 states, there is a Trump abortion ban, many with no exceptions for even R and I. Be sure if he were to win, he would sign a national abortion ban. The verdict. Bans were enacted by states after Trump left office, but as president, he appointed 3 justices to the Supreme Court who voted to overturn Roe v. Wade. Trump has said he would not sign the national abortion ban. Roe v. Wade protected the federal constitutional right to an abortion for nearly 50 years until it was overturned in June 22. So, as a result, 22 states currently ban abortion or restrict the procedure to earlier in pregnancy than was set by Roe v. Wade. In 14 of those states, abortion is banned in almost all circumstances with 10 not even making an exception for R and I. During his campaign, he has declined to back a national abortion ban and said he believes that the issue should be left up to the individual states. And that is that's the last question. So let me get this here. Interesting. So on the fact check side of the game, that's what we now have heard. So all the stuff that we continuously hear about how, number one, how she must be doing so well with black men, and she's just blowing up the spot with black men. She's knocking it out the park. Black men are just so in love with Kamala. I don't think so. I do not believe that is true in the slightest. And even more so, what exactly is supposed to be the excitement for black men who are talking about tandems? Realistically, when we're asking serious questions, what on earth? You know what I'm saying? Like what on earth are we to be excited about? It just makes no sense. But they keep telling us that you need to be excited. You know, she's the first black this, and well, number one, she's not black to a lot of us. And I guess that is such a hard pill for people to swallow. I don't get it. But you know, there was something else before we move on. There was something else I just noticed about like this convention. This was something I noticed. I'm like, what are we doing here? You got the man from Scandal that had his bed wench in office. And so you have this man, MC, the first night of the DNC convention for Kamala Harris to go into the White House, who, lo and behold, basically is kind of this scene in reverse. She's the one in the seat of power. Ain't that something? When I seen this, I was like, this just feels like a diss to black men. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm taking it wrong. It's not enough that, you know, black men aren't in the room with Kamala. It is ski-wee black women and other bootlicking shills. But, you know, black men aren't around here. There's no black men around Kamala. So I don't know why people are like, man, black men are getting excited about Kamala. Nah, not so much. That's not even a logical thought. to be quite honest. But let me find some things here, because we want to take a look at a few things here. You know what? Let me play this audio real quick. And this is from our elder, Dr. Claude Anderson. And he has a good word for us. Let's see, let's get that.
Democratic Party has never explained to black people in this country that they're going to practice politics based on the simple premise of what politics is in place for. Politics is a process that decides who will get what benefits out of life, and who's going to get it and how they're going to get it. And yet the Democratic Party has never told black folk that. And so what you should be voting for out there is not for a political candidate based on his personality. Well, I like this candidate for this reason. I like that for that reason. You should be saying, I want to pick the person who's going to provide the most benefits to black people. They're not going to provide any benefits to black folk. Why are you voting? You go to the supermarket and you go in there and you starve to death. You need some groceries. You go to the supermarket, walk up to the cashier and give him $50. Say, I'm buying $50 worth of food. And you don't have to give me anything for it. Just take the $50 and I'm going back by my business. See, that's what the Democrats are doing. And black people don't understand that the Democratic Party has never, ever done anything in the history of this nation to be effectively do something for black folk. Democratic Party is negligent. They're using black folk to pimp and hustle black folk. Why am I saying that? Because the Democratic Party right now is made up, their voting strength comes from black people. Black people make up about 38 to 40% of the Democratic Party. And yet they never get anything out of it. Not one penny is sent to black folk to repay them for putting a candidate in office. Now, black folk want to play and win. As I said, they should get out of both parties and go start their own party. Quit running around voting for people based on personalities. And because he's associated with this, he's associated with that. If they haven't done anything for black folk in approvable, measurable terms to elevate the quality of life and the wealth holding for black folk, don't vote for them. Don't vote for anybody who won't support you. And so right now, don't listen to the ministers or civil rights leaders or any water-leg politicians that won't stand up for you.
Facts. Never forget.
I just told you a little while ago, these leaders that they call leaders, this included Lena Horne, this included Dick Gregory, and this included comedians, comics, trumpet players, baseball players. Show me in the white community where a comedian is a white leader. Show me in the white community where a singer is a white leader, or a dancer or a trumpet player is a white leader. These aren't leaders. These are puppets and clowns that have been set up over the white community and over the black community by the white community, and have been made celebrities and usually say exactly what they know that the white man wants to hear.
Physics. Facts on facts. I got some things. I got some more. I think I might just save that for my weekly wrap up, because there's so much I've seen. Because some things that also Michelle Obama was saying was definitely very disturbing, to say the least. But there is something I gotta play. Oh my goodness. This DNC convention. It's as you can tell, I'm sure there might be a lot of white people right now feeling a little left out because they have went full tilt. Black church pander. However, they're also doing some other things that is very questionable. Very, very questionable. And I saw this. I guess this is from Monday night, and man, out of all the people, so okay, they're trying to cater, or pander to black folks. I have a question about Who is this for, though?
In 2008, we met while working on the Obama-Biden campaign.
Huh? What? When I saw that, I'm like, shout out to Great Black Shark. Because I seen it on his page. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is out of hand. I guess that is pandering to the crowd with disabilities, and I guess trying to show the inclusivity of the Democrats. But that was really strange that you have a person up there that can't really speak, and you got to like, here, let's put the mic up to his face. That is that's just nuts to me. You got him up there. Oh man, that's almost like wheeling somebody out in a coma to me. Like, we're gonna just wheel you out here, and maybe we'll hold your hand up and let you wave to the crowd. Like, yo, that feels exploitive. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong, but that just feels mad exploitive. But speaking also of exploitive, oh, are you glad? Are you glad? I'm so glad. Are you glad? No, I'm glad right now. Oh, I'm so glad. Family. Why did they have this nut up here to cast their vote as their delegation of their state? Why does he have a church organ tuning him up like he's in church? Like this is a midweek revival. Listen to this, family.
From the bluffs of Memphis to the peaks of Mountain City, the movement for justice, rooted in love in Tennessee, is still strong. It is a movement where kids are free from gun violence, a movement where women have the right to choose, a movement where working people get access to economic opportunity, a movement where those who have been pushed to the periphery are brought to the center, a movement where those who have been pushed down are lifted up. It is a night in Tennessee because we believe that justice will roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream, which is why we are so proud to have been the first state in the union to pledge all of our delegates to Kamala Harris.
Oh, don't worry, family. You will most definitely be seeing that one again on Friday because I got to let y'all see my face on this. Are you serious, Negro? Oh, my goodness. Oh, man, this is brutal. Why they got the church organ? I mean, he got that thing growling. Oh, my Lord. I mean, and truth be told, that didn't sound like it was like canned. That sounded like they were in the building. Why the hell is there an organ in there? Can somebody tell me why a B3 and a Leslie is in? What's happening here? Oh, man, this is just a beast, man. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so where do we need to go? Oh, yeah. Remember what we said? Yeah, the gift that just keeps on giving. Hold on. Let me. Hey, Roland. Are you upset that you ain't getting none of this like none of this influencer money? Because if I was you, I think I'd be kind of pissed off, man. Because yo, this is what's happening here, man. Wait a minute. Let me show y'all this. And literally paying TikTokers. You know, paid him $20,000+ and he got a whole, and this is what he's doing. See, we're at the DMC. Watch my TikTok video. Oh my Lord. This is what it is. So this is his Kamala gonna win dance, I guess. Oh, Lord. See? Y'all, be careful with that narcotic out there. I just say, just watch yourselves. Lord. He doing a Justin Timberlake? What's happening here? Oh, man. Okay, so let me see. There's a few pieces I need to hit. Let me see what this is. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, because Michelle Obama takes to the stage because she says something about the country. Let me see if this is the piece I need. Okay, I think we got it here. Let's give it a run here. Let's hear from Michelle.
A familiar feeling that's been buried too deep for far too long. You know what I'm talking about. It's the contagious power of hope.
Wow. This is not 2008. It's literally 2024. And she up here talking about hope.
The anticipation, the energy, the exhilaration of once again being on the cusp of a brighter day. The chance to vanquish the demons of fear, division, and hate.
How? How are you vanquishing the demon? Where does she think she... Is this a church service? I mean, this is insane. Vanquishing the demons of hate. What are you talking about, ma'am? What on earth are you saying? I really would have to strongly disagree. Good Lord. Let's hear some more.
That have consumed us and continue pursuing the unfinished promise of this great nation, the dream that our parents and grandparents fought and died and sacrificed for.
Ma'am, our parents and grandparents, they didn't sacrifice and die to vote. They died for us to be empowered. So these ancestors of ours, they were out here being empowered. It wasn't about voting for nothing. We voted for something. That was the point, voting for something. And if that avenue doesn't work to get us something for our empowerment's sake, then we move on to the next strategic move that will get some motion on our empowerment's sake.
America, hope is making a comeback.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that's what they're selling. Empty hope. Hope is making a comeback. Not for me. Not for me at all. I don't see the hope. No, siree, Bob. Now, with that being said, Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a week of review. I'm gonna do a review at the end of this week, of course. And truth be told, I would like to hear from. I might do some call-ins, because I also want to hear from y'all and see how all of this trend, how everything that happened this week, how you guys are seeing it. But it's very interesting because, like, one thing about the video you are seeing, or the screen that you're seeing, the screenshot. Let me go back and put it on the screen real quick. Do it like that. Okay, so the thumbnail, midweek DNC report. This is this man's take, and he got Van Jones, as you see up there, ready to start crying. He's going to give his take on these speeches and understand that vote you need. They understand the votes they need. So let's see what this man has, what his take is.
In all these speeches, as good as they were, is that she's in the White House right now. Democrats have controlled the White House for 12 of the last 16 years. And for all of the talk about division and the problems in the country and people are hurting, Democrats have mostly controlled this country.
Yep.
Trump had it for 4. The Obamas and Biden had it for the rest of the time. And somehow it's still all Trump's fault. And somehow she hasn't been at the center of it. So to me, that's still the glaring hole in this campaign that hasn't yet been solved at the convention. How do you explain all of the problems that will be solved by the person who is currently in there for the last 3.5 years, who is supposed to already be working on solving it? But
is he wrong? And that is a fair question that we are asking. It's a problem. And if she can't even figure out how to fix that issue that is a train wreck, then why are we hiring her to do any more? That just doesn't seem to make good common sense. You know what I mean? It just really doesn't make any good common sense. Let me. That's one little piece we gotta hit before I go through these last reel of videos. But everybody is like, Brother Jason Black says, everybody's favorite sharecropper, Uncle Jimbo Jangles Clyburn. Listen to this bull that he's about to spew out of his mouth.
People are going to look at Joe Biden much the way we look at Martin Luther King Jr. When he said in his speech, it does not matter how long you live, but how well you live. And I'll say the same thing about Joe Biden.
How the hell do you make that comparison to a man that was taken out by racist white supremacist government? Some people speculate they had hands here, but we'll say white supremacists for all intents and purposes. How now do we say that? I mean, these people are something else. They're gonna be like, Martin Luther King. How'd you get there? No, I absolutely would have to strongly disagree with that. And so what I want to do for the end of this particular broadcast is something that mainstream media won't do. And as it turns out, some of these people are going out, like Don Lemon. And Don Lemon has been on the move out here, putting, his mic out there in people's faces and asking them about the political landscape and how they were looking at it. Well, there was also some people from, I think, Breaking 911 that went out to Chicago. And they also asked some questions to some people on the street. So what we are about to do is we are going to look at 4 clips as we get ready to end this broadcast, because I will save everything else I got until we wrap up this week so I can wrap up the entire convention. But I just want to give the opportunity on this broadcast for the voices of the streets to be heard, and see what people are saying about how they feel about this election and their political stance and their political relationships with said parties or not.
Can you tell me what's going on with the migrant crisis here in Chicago? So I will tell you right now, I'm a person that lives on the south side of Chicago, and the migrants that have come in, at one point they were coming in and we were feeling very sorry for them because they came in at a time where the weather was cold. So we're seeing all these people in tents and all this and that. But then we find out that they're getting $15,000 in food stamps, $5,000 in cash. I work for a company, which I will not say, that they're able to come in and they're able to get internet and Wi-Fi and all of this for free because guess what? The government are paying their rent for 2 years. Why is the government paying people that came from another country rent for 2 years? Can we explain that? Because it's a housing crisis right now with multiple homeless people on the streets right now that I could follow and show you homeless people that's been living on the streets. So what makes the migrants better from coming to another country that they get all of this? Do you know why? I'm going to say why. Because we're about to have another presidential election. So if we make these migrants democratic and we give them the right to vote and we give them all of these things, they're going to vote. And then, boom. I'm a Trump supporter, by the way.
Cleveland is lit. How y'all feeling about the election?
Kamala Harris all day long. It's going to be my second time voting, so I'm ready for it.
I'm going for Trump.
I'm excited for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz.
I don't feel comfortable with the candidates.
I think Trump's gonna win.
I feel like it's leaning towards Trump for sure.
It sucks because I don't know what's going on. The world is a mess.
Oh, not very good, I guess. I don't really like either candidate.
I'm just trying to keep my hopes up here. We're kind of in despair.
Yeah. A little hopeful. I'm hoping that things go in a positive direction for change.
I wish we had two new candidates.
We're going to have a first woman president or we're going to have Trump back in office, so it's going to be changed either way.
This is J.D. Vance's home state, and you're not rooting for him?
I'm okay on him. Not Republican, so I like J.D. Vance.
No.
Because?
I don't agree with his ideals.
No, not a fan.
Why not?
Not what I believe in.
Trump or Kamala Harris?
Donald Trump.
I don't vote.
I have to go Trump, man.
Yeah.
I have to. Yeah, Trump. I got to go Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris. No comment.
I'm running for Trump, so.
I'm supporting Trump.
Kamala is doing a great job.
Kamala. But I'm probably not going to vote.
It's like they just pushed her in.
Now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person.
I would vote for Trump.
Kamala Harris.
What about you?
The black lady.
Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
My first time voting was 2020. I think I wrote my name or someone else in.
With exactly what he said, he has the intellectual side of it.
It's funny. I saw that video and people were in the comment thread questioning this man. So she says he's intellectual, and they're like, "Oh, he can't be intellectual because this is his opinion of his stance in his political position." So I found that to be very interesting. But it is what it is. But notice how the white women didn't commit, and actually, I'd rather not see either one of them. Don't miss that. And the black women are split more, and they don't talk about that part with the black women being split because they want a monolith and blanket black women. But it's like, well, look at it this way, the reason why you have so many black women Kamala Harris supporters is, what do they always tell us? Black women are the most educated. So of course, you're all the sororities people. We got it. So, yeah, moving along to the next clip.
I've been talking to a lot of black men. They say they're supporting Donald Trump. Do you believe that? But who are you voting for?
Donald Trump.
Trump. I have to go Trump, man.
You said Trump. Yes.
I think they are, and I think the reason why, the money he gave away last time he was in office is what they're looking for again.
What money?
Even if it was illegally or legally, the PPE loans, stimulus, and stuff like that.
That wasn't him.
Who was that? Obama?
That was a Democratic Congress.
Oh, that was
he doesn't give away money.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what they probably think that's what the case is.
You know, they're actually looking and seeing who's going to benefit me more. Let me not just make a blind vote.
He run with the color people. He run with our type. That's why we like him, because he's more for us.
I think a lot of black men, they want something different. They don't just want to follow the black vote.
Are y'all in the same household?
Yes, sir.
He kind of feel like his vote doesn't count almost. That's the part that's kind of discouraging.
The top people see a difference, but the bottom people don't see a difference too much. It takes a long time for us to see a difference.
Stuff happened with George Floyd. I say he gave us stimulus checks. Even though that was nothing, he didn't have to do that. He still blessed us with stimulus checks.
You know, he didn't do the stimulus checks. He didn't want to do it. That was a Democratic Congress. He only held it up to get his name on the check.
I did not know that. F Trump, man. I don't like Trump no more. F Trump, Kamala Harris, Kamala for president. Kamala for president.
I feel like they're brainwashed, honestly. He's not for us. He can't denounce white supremacy, setting rappers free, pardoning rappers to try to get their, try to get the sympathy vote from black people, and they fall for it.
Okay, that was a little more 50-50. Let's hear from this one.
How are you feeling about the election?
I'm going for Trump. I feel like every time they don't want somebody who is good for us to win, they throw somebody black in our face thinking that's going to make us vote for the black person.
I voted for Obama because he was black. I don't want to vote for her because she's the first black woman to run for president or to win.
I don't vote.
Well, I want Donald Trump. I'm sorry. I want Donald Trump.
Why do you apologize?
Well, I know nobody likes him, but we had good times with Donald Trump.
I'm running for Trump, so.
You are?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just always been a fan of his, so that's what I'm running for.
I used to be against Trump. I used to live in Virginia. I saw the bad side of it, but really moving to Cleveland, I saw the other side of it.
I'm supporting Trump.
You are?
Mm-hmm.
Because?
Because it has to change.
Yeah.
It has to change, and now I vote more for what fits me better as a person rather than voting for the black person or voting for the first woman. So
What do you think about Kamala Harris?
I think they say she phony and fake, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm like Trump saying, what are you, So I'm not feeling her. People get mad about it, I'm just not feeling her.
I don't like her the way she speaks, the giddiness, the laughing. Everything's a joke, and it's not a joke. We're in trouble.
I'm going for Trump. Kamala was on Biden's team, and I don't like Biden. Gas wasn't this high when Trump was our president. Food wasn't this high. I'm going for Trump.
Ain't nothing wrong with that neither. I'm not mad. I am not mad at them positions at all, and nor should anybody. That is a common sense position when your condition is so jacked up, and so there is one more video that I want to play. Let's see. Wait for that to come up. Okay, so the black dude from Fox News, he went over to a black barbershop, and they had some conversation or whatnot, and so I'm going to take a quick visit to this particular video. And let's go through it and see what the conversation is. Because again, this is more, more of the grassroots. Just because when you go to the street and ask, you don't know what you're going to get. So let's see what's happening.
The barbershop is the center of everything in the community. If you want to know something, politics, what's happening in the streets, any type of deals, anything, you come to the barbershop. The DNC is here in Chicago. How do y'all feel about that?
It's a really interesting discussion. We're going to find out, after this convention, how the American people feel about their pocketbooks.
Tell me about the people that come and sit in your chair. What do they say is, what's normally the number one issue they feel is facing the country right now? Finances?
Yeah. Cost of living is high.
They tell me that they just they want to see a change in inflation, prices.
I think taxes are too high. Groceries are too high. Taxes are too high. Gas is too high. It's just too high.
All the immigrants came in and they giving, it's like
the stuff they have for the Americans, they're giving it to the immigrants that's coming in.
It hurts black people more than anything. Black men.
Now, understand what we're talking about. See, that is immediately affecting black men. And so to come at black men like we're stupid for not supporting something that ain't looking out for us, that is looking out for other groups. So what are black jobs? We'll go talk to the black men. Go get some conversation from some black men. Look at putting black men in office. And I mean, not your Cory Bookers or the other Frankenstein dude. No, we're talking about give real black men who represent the people, that actually represent the people, not these bought and paid for cats. That's why everything that you're seeing right now, we don't understand. It must be disrupted the way it is. And black folks need to be shaken out of their slumber, because this is what doing the same thing over and over has created. It's created a crisis that is at your doorstep, and your financial peril is absolutely evident. There's no way around it. Let's hear some more.
Particularly like to work with their hands. They like to drive trucks. And, those are jobs that, an illegal can come in and underbid him with third world prices and put him out of work.
Who do you think is responsible for that, giving them the benefits and allowing them to come over?
Biden. Trump was trying to keep them out, so to speak, as much as he could, but Biden just let the gate open.
Who would win from the people that you speak to, Kamala Harris or Donald Trump?
50-50.
It's still a 50-50 race.
Yeah, it's up in the air. Some people like Kamala because she represents change and she's different.
Correct.
Some people like Trump because they feel like he's more business-minded. So it's up in the air.
It's a coin flip.
Are they gonna go for Kamala?
And why do you think they're gonna go for Kamala?
Because they made it about history now. I will vote for Kamala.
So when you were telling me about the number one issue, talking about illegal immigration and them coming to Chicago, she represents the same thing as Biden. You said Trump fixed it, was trying to fix it. So why would you double down and vote for Kamala?
The reason I would, like I said, vote for her is because I think it's time for a woman president.
What do you say to the brothers that say, I'm just trying to...
You just literally said everything about this administration has been horrible, but you just want to vote for it because it was time for a woman president with the exact same failed policy that you just said was horrible. Oh my goodness.
Life was just better for me under the last administration.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it. Especially people in our industry.
But you do hear it, don't you?
I hear it, but I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It's really...
So you hear from that many people, but you still don't believe what you're hearing from multiple people. Okay.
Enlightening to hear individuals start to change their political direction. I think it's time that blacks in general need to boost our political IQ.
Absolutely.
Stop being blindly faithful to a one-party system that does not work.
Growing up, you choose to be like a Democrat, but they really don't know the history of it. It's time to, to start thinking about like thinking outside the box.
Basically, most of us, I believe, we voted Democrat because that's what we was brought up to do.
Absolutely.
You go to the poll, they say vote Democrat, vote Democrat. But I don't really see no change that they say they're doing.
Everything you're hearing from the Democrats are already things that they failed at over 30 years. Blacks are struggling more than any other demographic.
Get up off of that cocaine. Get up off of that crack. Get
They don't get us. But a lot of people are waking up right now. As you can see, speaking to the brothers and sisters in the shop.
Sorry about that, family. I don't even understand how that just happened. I did not hit nothing.
This same conversation is happening pretty much in everybody.
Go back a little bit because it cut that conversation. So let me give.
What's in it for us?
Most blacks are conservative. if the Republican Party could just learn how to communicate. And the reason why they can't communicate is they don't get us. But a lot of people are waking up right now, as you can see, speaking to the brothers and sisters in the shop. And you know how many barbershops and beauty salons there are throughout the country?
This same conversation is happening pretty much in every barbershop.
Everywhere, man, and it's changing.
That's great, Lawrence.
Let me tell you, it was like being back at home.
And so, you know, hearing perspective from black men, which you very rarely do these days, because they have treated us, especially the Democratic Party has treated us as if we don't exist. So I don't think that anybody should feel entitled to come talk to black men as if something should be a given for getting nothing, or better yet, getting mistreated. I mean, because let's think, you know, all of that black man hate, blame black men. No, man, that ain't cool. Ain't nothing cool about that. So, you know, just flashing back to our own icons, our own gym droppers, and you know, the Malcolm X's, the Dr. Claude Andersons, who's still with us. Let's reflect again back on what Brother Malcolm.
You're in a position to determine who go to the White House and who stay in the doghouse. You're the one who has that power. You're the one who put the present Democratic administration in Washington, D.C. It was the fact that you threw 80% of your votes behind the Democrats that put the Democrats in the White House. When you see this, you can see that the Negro vote is the key factor. And despite the fact that you are in a position to be the determining factor, what do you get out of it? The Democrats have been in Washington, D.C. only because of the Negro vote. They've been down there 4 years. And all other legislation they wanted to bring up, they brought it up and gotten it out of the way, and now they bring up you. And now they bring up you. You put them first and they put you last. Because you're a chump.
And with that being said, how true it is. See, that's going on back then. You 80% got 80% of the black vote, and you ain't demanding nothing. And ain't been demanding nothing back then. When is the time to start demanding if it isn't now? Our dear brother Malcolm X has been gone longer than I have been on this earth. Over 50 years this man has been gone. And you're still saying the exact same thing. Michelle Obama is telling you that hope has returned. We don't need hope. We need tangibles. And anything less than tangibles is against empowerment. I will let our elders close us out.
Democratic Party has never explained to black people in this country that they're going to practice politics based on the simple premise of what politics is in place for. Politics is a process that decides who's going to get what benefits out of life, and who's going to get it and how they're going to get it. And yet the Democratic Party has never told black folk that. And so what you should be voting for out there is not for a political candidate based on his personality. Well, I like this candidate for this reason. I like that for that reason. You should be saying, I want to pick the person who's going to provide the most benefits to black people. If they're not going to provide any benefits to black folk, why are you voting? You go to the supermarket and you go in there and you starve to death and you need some groceries. You go to the supermarket, walk up to the cashier and give him $50, say, I'm buying $50 worth of food. And you don't have to give me anything for it. Just take the $50 and I'm going back by my business. See, that's what the Democrats are doing. And black people don't understand that the Democratic Party has never, ever done anything in the history of this nation to be effectively do something for black folk. Democratic Party is negligent. They're using black folk to pimp and hustle black folk. Why am I saying that? Because the Democratic Party right now is made up, their voting strength comes from black people. Black people make up about 38 to 40% of the Democratic Party, and yet they never get anything out of it. Not one penny is sent to black folk to repay them for putting a candidate in office. Now, black folk want to play and win. As I said, they should get out of both parties and go start their own party. Quit running around voting for people based on personalities. And because he's associated with this, he's associated with that. If they haven't done anything for black folk in approvable, measurable terms to elevate the quality of life and the wealth holding for black folk, don't vote for them. Don't vote for anybody who won't support you. And so right now, don't listen to the ministers or civil rights leaders or any water-leg politicians that won't stand up for you.
And because if they won't, that means you are complicit at the fight against black empowerment. And if you are against black empowerment, even our elder scholars have stated how to deal with you.
Good evening, Dr. Clark. I really would like you to tell me what's the best way to handle an African American that gets in the way of the liberation of African Americans. I believe in this unity, and I'd love to love all of them, embrace them. Please tell me how to do it strategically.
Put space between you. Don't try to reform him. Give him the information, hope that he will use it. If he don't use it, then don't waste time letting him obstruct the movement. People who don't believe in themselves can't believe in you and can't help you. It's heartbreaking to know that there are some of us we have to write off so the rest of us can survive.
And with that being said, what do we know?
How can black people rise up and overcome?
Get out and vote?
That is incorrect. I'm sorry.
Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeed. So thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. I appreciate it. This has been the Midweek Report. This is the Power of the Grassroots, Part 4. And the Part 4 is because here's the power of you. Your voice has screamed so loud, as much as they've tried to ignore it. Even the white pundits and the white commentators can say, don't count all your chickens just yet. And knowing that the black vote is the big get. Anybody that tells you being 80% of a voter block entitles you to nothing, they tell you that you shouldn't be asking for anything. You shouldn't expect anything for being the mule and the wheels and the engine of this vehicle called the DNC. And you want to take the rest of our lives and our families' lives and futures along with you on that ride. Number one, I say, and if to suggest such a thing, there are people that have dual allegiances and people, in other lands that they think of when they think about us, because they don't think of us in a positive light. We need to ask them,
where's your family from?
And then, there's the liberal crowd. And they say, well, what about the liberals? Well, you can't trust them either, because we've heard about that. Even Dr. Martin Luther King and Brother Malcolm have spoke about those so-called liberals. And with that, this is why being 80 plus% of a voter block or of a voting populace that can make or break an election, well, then I don't think when you talk to us, you should be sounding like this.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
So I say, if you think that we should go for another round of that, well, I definitely speak for myself. Beatzilla PDX official, the Beatzilla PDX official show. Those of you in the chat, the Grassroots, the voices of new black media, I think it is safe to say that if you think we would ever consider giving up our power at this moment for more benign neglect, we proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. You can most definitely follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined, you could help this channel out by way of donations at CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And we also have PayPal, which is Zilla Music. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. So with that being said, and shout out to, let me do something real quick. Let me go here. It's Tanya Zion. Thank you for emailing me. I have not got a chance to take a look at what you hit me about. But as soon as I do, I will get back to you. So bear with my schedule, please. But thank you. And good luck on, on your son's on your son's movement. So yeah, give me some time and I will get back to you. So thank you for hitting me. And somebody else also recently hit me. So like I said, if I'm slow getting back to you, please forgive my slowness. But I also want to, you know what? I don't know why I did this the hard way. Hold on. Because I want to give a shout out to the members before I get out of here. So let me do it this way. Let me get in here real quick because I want to give some of y'all a good shout out. Let me see. Where we at here? All right. So I want to see all my members. Give a shout out and give a little roll call to all of my members. So with that being said, for my B1 Warrior Squad, I appreciate each and every one of you. And that starts with Afro Troop TV, Jim Eyes View, Muff Moon, Hurricane IQ, No Bad News, Robin Ann Battle, Project Leroy, Phantom Beat, and Iron Will, Tasha Peters, Samuel Logan, Tanya Zion, Hey Yo God, the Church of Black Empowerment, Dark Skinned Brother, Antithesis, Judah Yisrael, Key Prince, Black Anthem, Crew Reality, Faith Speaks Life, Lady Effa, Black Spider, and Deneen Soul. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on each and every one of you. Thank you so much for being members of this channel. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. And for all those who have sent Cash Apps, donations, and whatnot. Matter of fact, somebody, let me get you, because somebody actually on the replay gang. Let's see that. Yep, Nora, Sister Nora, thank you. I think I hit Devonta. And, of course, Antithesis. Yes, indeed, as always. So thank y'all for the Cash Apps. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, protection be up on all of you and yours, man. I'm so appreciative to all of you. Thank you so much. And with that being said, we are getting up out of here. So always remember, where are we at here? Where is that at? I'm not seeing my, oh, there it is. Hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, keep your notifications on, and y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all. Peace.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.